I'd like to welcome everybody to a new video.
Hello!
There you see it. This is an Atwater Kent. It's an early 30s radio. And I bought this on eBay. Now I asked the seller if he knew any information about this radio, and he told me he bought it at an auction in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and that's about all he knew. So it is a barn find, or an attic find. Although it looks pretty good from the front, it's got some problems. Now I paid a lot of money for this on eBay, but I'm thinking it's going to be pretty interesting. One of the reasons I got it was it had the original knobs, although this is not working too smooth. That must be the on-off. That could be the volume. This could be on-off, yeah. This is only on-off, volume, and tune. Let's get a closer look at the dial here. There's a close shot of the dial.
That is really nice.
Oh yes, very nice.
It's a very nice looking bezel on there.
Oh, how nice.
The grill cloth is still intact, although it's very dirty, and it's worn over here. Don't look too bad. The grill is in pretty good shape, although I see the veneer is coming loose on here, so this is in very delicate condition.
I'd like to stroke it.
The veneer doesn't look in too bad of a shape, especially this area here. But let me turn it around and we'll take a look at some of the weak points of this.
Turn it around.
You should be careful.
The right side here is missing the trim. And you can see all this veneer coming loose. Well, this is the rear of the cabinet. This was packed very well, but still got a little bit of damage. This thing fell off. This is very delicate.
Kinda wobbly.
I think I'm lucky that the whole thing didn't get destroyed. That looks like a heavy speaker in there. Here's the plate on it. It says Atwater Kent, model 84, super heterodyne. There you go, model 84. There's the power cord.
Gee, that ain't bad at all.
Ain't good either.
Speaker cord. Look, we got one of these old globe tubes here. Looks like there's another one back here. The back of this has a distinct odor of rat pee.
Oh, dear me.
If I only had smell-o-vision. Whew. It's pretty ripe. I wonder what's underneath this chassis.
I don't want to know.
Tube shield on here. Tube shield here. Tube shield here. So what we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-tube radio. Let's see if we can pull the chassis out of the cabinet. Let's take the knobs off. It's full of crap. Oh, That is rat droppings. These knobs haven't been off in a long time. Whoa, let's get a shot of that.
Yeah. Ew.
There you can see the rat droppings. I'm trying to figure out how that rat got his ass around the inside of that knob there.
It baffles science.
Gross. I'm trying to imagine what it's going to look like when I pull the chassis out and take a look at it.
Let's do it.
Well, I guess I'm going to find out because I'm going to do it right now. Well, I guess these 4 screws here need to come out.
Smart guy.
They're already loose. That one's stubborn. Oh boy, a bunch of dirt comes out of the hole there. See that dirt coming out when I unscrew it? Boy, this whole cabinet must have fallen apart. Oh, it stinks. See if I can move the cabinet towards the rear there. Holy mackerel. Look at that. It's like remnants of a rat's nest. Oh, that stinks. Oh, man.
Stink, stank, stunk.
I gotta turn this around and flip it up. This is not for the faint-hearted, folks. If you don't like disgusting stuff, maybe you should not watch this. But if you're game, I warned you. I can see a part of the nest right there. Okay, here goes nothing. Oh, God. Ah.
Yuck, gross! Ew, nasty! Oh my god, it's so gross!
Feast your eyes. Dinner is served.
Make sure a rat's not in there. I wonder if there's anything in there. I'll just poke around here a little bit.
Oh, that's just disgusting.
You ever heard of a pack rat? Might be some valuable stuff in here.
Disgusting.
I don't see a $100 bill that a rat may have used for his bedding.
Oh my god, that's disgusting.
Seeing if I can find any piece of newspaper that maybe had a date on or something, but the piece there is just too small. It looks like an old newspaper, that's for sure. At least there's no mouse in here. Must have made that rat a nice little house for a while.
Please let me go. I can't stand it anymore.
Well, let me dump that in the garbage. Yeah. It actually looks pretty good under there. It's got a fuse in it. I do see some old friction tape over here. That goes to the switch. So maybe the switch was replaced. I don't see any evidence of this being worked on. Could this be a virgin?
I beg your pardon?
Look at this resistor here. This looks like it was been chewed on by a rat. Some more chewed on. But also look at these bank of resistors here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are some heavy-duty resistors. I think they're resistors. Look at the old tube socket. Last time I seen something like that when I worked on my 1929 Philco. There's 3 more here on the bottom. 1 more here. Look at that transformer. I don't know if that's original or it's been replaced, but it doesn't even have a cover on it.
Who did that Mickey Mouse job?
But it looks like this is where the rat peed here. It's all rusty around here. It's rusty on the core here. Looks like this has got a problem. Damn. Now it's stuck. There it goes. Like this is gonna be a fun one, huh? Gonna have to take this outside and blow it off. Let's take a look at the cabinet. There's the back of the cabinet here. Looks like some acorns here. Piece of wood probably from the cabinet. I'm gonna save that. There's another piece of wood. All this nest mixed with poop.
Gross. Keep that poop away from me.
Gotta blow that chassis off and take a hot shower. Ugh, I need one. Well, let's take the speaker off and we'll check the field coil and the output transformer, see if it's okay. Look at that pristine speaker. This cardboard is the hard type. It's not thin paper like some of the other ones. That's nice. Fingers, be careful. Don't poke it.
Yeah!
I see no markings on it. You think that's the original?
Who knows?
Okay, let's use this plug and see if the field coil and the output transformer are okay. Here's the schematic, and it's showing the output transformer is 500 ohms and the field coil is 2000. Let's take a reading here. We're getting something here. 494 ohms. That's the output transformer. So it's good. So these other two are the field coil. Come on, field coil, work. Here we go. Bingo. 2075. Looks like it's good. We can see here that this is not the original transformer. These holes don't line up. This is all rusted from the rat pee. So we're going to test the windings on this transformer to see if they're any good. Let's start with the high voltage windings. So we'll take out the rectifier tube. And it's got 4 pins. Now the fat pins are the 5 volts that the tube runs on. So this is the 5 volt winding. Point 2, that's low resistance. It should be low resistance. So that's good. Now the skinny pins are the high voltage windings. Let's see if we get anything. Aha! 515. That's good. That means we'll get high voltage out of it. But we also need to check the center tap. Okay, I've got the meter hooked up to the high voltage winding directly on the transformer here. Now the center tap is right here. We should get half of that 500 here. 265. Okay. Let's check the other side. 252. Now the rest of these tubes here run on 2.5 volts. So let's check that. So I can see the 2.5 volt wires here. One wire is going up here to the transformer. Let's hook that up. And the other black wire here goes right up here. 1.6 ohms. I'd say that winding's good. I checked these tubes here, and they all measure continuity. I can't put them on my tester because they're the real old ones. So if I get continuity, it's probably good. Although this one here, the top came off, so I would have to break off some of the glass here to solder a wire on here. We'll probably do that later. I've got another tube I could put in there. Now this tube with the broken wire up here is 124. Look at that neat blue color on it. So I bought another one, new old stock. This one's a 24, call it 24A. This one replaces this one. So that's what I'm going to be using. Later, we'll see if we can fix this. Hopefully we can, but you can only take so much of that glass off there, and it could go to air if you grind too much of that off. But I'll worry about that later.
I'll worry about that when the time comes.
I just discovered this.
Oh my holy God.
This is the number 3 RF coil, and looks like a rat chewed it. He chewed the wires here, and there's the other end of it. So I'm going to have to fix that before we power it up. Those darn rats.
You dirty rat.
I'm going to see if I can fix this. So I'm going to take it out. It looks like there's a screw on the bottom. See it there? Let's see if we loosen that screw, it comes out. First thing I want to do is see how many strands of wire that is. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's 4 strands. And that's a little over an inch. So what I'll probably do is I'll take these wires off and solder a new wire at the end and wrap it around and make it 4 inches longer than this here. So there was actually 6 pieces of these, not 4. So I'm going to measure these. It's 3 inches. 3 inches. 3 inches. 3 inches. This one is 7. And looks like another 3 inches. Yeah. So it's 3 and 7 is 10, 13, 16, 19, 20, 22. I need 22 inches plus an inch that was missing. So another 6 inches. So that's 28 inches I need to fix that. I think I'll just clean it up a little bit here. So I'm going to have to fix this hole first. I'm going to glue this cardboard in here. Okay, looks like I'm going to have to hold that a little bit, but you get the gist of it. So I'll put some liquid tape around here, and we'll see what that looks like. I'm just going to keep building that up so it's even on each side. Then after that dries, we'll put the wire on it. Okay, we're ready to put some wire on here. Here's the repair section I did. It's not the most beautiful repair in the world, but it'll work.
It's true.
And I took this wire here, I stripped it and tinned it. I've got some other wire here. This is Litz wire. It's a little bit thinner than this, but it's stranded wire, so it should do the trick. So I'm going to wrap this around here and solder this and start winding. Gonna put a lot of flux down here. Let's cue the clip about putting it on kind of thick.
Why? Sure spreading that on thick.
Okay, let's solder some wire. Make sure this is nice and hot. There's a lot of solder on it. We'll just stick it right here and let it flow. Since we soldered that wire on here, I'm going to test the continuity of the whole length of it. Now this wire here goes around this and comes up here. So this is the starting point on the coil. And we're going to test the end of here before I wind it. And we'll use the little tester. Hopefully this works. This wire is pretty thin here. So remember, this is the whole length of the coil. Aha! So that's 2.4 ohms at 0.07 millihenries. Okay, I'm just going to put some liquid tape on here. Cover this up. Okay, we'll just let that dry and we can wind it. Okay, now I gotta solder this end over here. This is the one that goes into the middle of the form here. And connects on the other side here. We'll do that off camera. Well, there's the number 3 RF coil completed. I got some new wires on it. I had to put a new grid cap on it because the one here was broken. So I was ready to put it on the chassis and think I could probably power it up. But I decided to check a few things on the radio first, and I'm glad I did. Let me show you what I found here. I put a new wire here on the grid cap because the other wire was rotten. The end of that grid cap wire goes over here to the volume control. In order to get that, I had to remove the nut here and remove this. And I had the scare of my life when I pulled this down. Let me show you what I found. And when I moved it out, this bug, which was still alive, started crawling out from under it here.
You are acting like a baby.
What the hell is that bug? Is that like a moth or something?
Spray that thing for bugs?
You see I stabbed it there.
Hey, why'd you kill me?
Because you scared me.
You little sissy.
Well, you're dead now, so what are you gonna do about it? So if you know what that is, put it down in the comments. Then I noticed these wires here. Looks like they were chewed on by that rat. And let me show you where these wires go to. Those wires were connected to this thing, and this is called the first detector plate choke.
Say what?
Okay? And it's supposed to be like 77 ohms across here, and I don't get anything. So if we examine it closer, if you see right here, it looks like the rat was chewing on this thing.
Son of a bitch.
God darn rats. So there's probably a break in it here. And this thing is a weird thing. It's called the IF stopping choke.
Huh?
And this is the IF stopping condenser.
What the hell is that?
Man, I thought I knew about radios. Until I picked this thing up, I know squat.
It's true. Very true.
There's some weird crap in here. So let me pull this out of there and see if we can fix this. Let me see if I can peel some of this off. See what's underneath there. Right after that first break, I kept unraveling it. I found more breaks here. Then I kept unraveling it, and then the break seemed to stop. So I looked on the schematic, and at the time I didn't notice it, but this choke has a tap in it. As you can see on the schematic, it's not quite a half, maybe it's a third. So I kept unraveling it to see if I could find that.
Oh!
And old Buzz got a little carried away. I kept unraveling, 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 till I finally came to the end, as you can see there. Now if you take a look at this picture, you see these two wires here. That's the center tap wires. All I would have had to do was to take these two wires, solder them together, and I wouldn't have to go through all this unwinding here.
Oh, brother.
So instead, I get this. Man, I went hog wild on there. So now I got this mess to deal with. So now I gotta put this on this. Now this wire is very tightly woven on here. It uses like a crisscross pattern. Just goes back and forth, and it creates this really impressive looking coil here. Now I don't think I can do that. I'm just going to try to get this back on here. Hopefully it'll fit. I don't think it's critical if it's woven that tightly. But what do I know? I got the buzz winder out because I needed to put the wire on a spool because it was all tangled up. I'm going to wind it all on here by hand. Here's the tap, those two wires spliced together. And on this end is the original beginning of the coil. So when I wind this, I'm going to do it all by hand and just do it like this. Well, there it is. I can't believe it. I got that big bunch of wire back on there. Look at it. What a fantastic job, Buzz.
You done good, buddy boy.
I glued down the connections here, then put some liquid tape over it. I think we got a winner here.
You did a whale of a job.
Let's get out the meter and measure that coil. Okay, the first thing we'll do here is test the entire winding. The schematic says it's supposed to be 79 ohms. So these two wires were marked, so I know which is which. 78.5 ohms. Pretty damn close. Okay, the center tap is this one right here, so we should get about half of that. Okay, we got 42 ohms on one side and 40 ohms on the other.
Wow.
While poking around some more, found another problem. This is bleeder resistor 1, bleeder resistor 2. These are wire wound resistors. Looks like it's got some rat peeves on here. And there's some corrosion. And there's wires loose here.
Uh-oh!
Let me see if I can get a tighter shot. See that?
Oh my gosh!
Now these wires are really thin. I'll have to investigate further in there to see if I can fix that. Man, I just want to power this up, but I keep finding more bad stuff here. Oh boy. Well, this resistor had multiple breaks in it. I had to unwind about 3/16 of an inch of it because it kept breaking off. I finally got a wire here. When I scraped the enamel off, I got some continuity. So I got one end of the meter here, and this is supposed to be 6K. So let's see what we got here. This wire is thinner than a hair. Okay, it's supposed to be 6K. We got 5,347 ohms. So let's say 350. So we're losing about 650. So I was thinking I'd just put in a 650 ohm from this wire to here and see if that works. I can always put in a 6K here. I don't know why they had to make this resistor with this thin wire here. I'd ask Atwater Kent, but he died years ago. After I do this, I'll show you what I come up with. Well, there's what I came up with. Put in a 620 ohm resistor. So now this should measure 6K. So let's get out the meter and check the first one and the second one. Okay, we'll test the one I fixed first. From here to here should get 6,000. 5.92. That's pretty close. Now the second one's down here. That measures 6.3K. Now together, we measure here. So we got 12.2. You guys think this is going to work? Or will it go up in smoke? Now there is one thing that concerns me here. See this fuse here? I put a 3 amp fuse in here. But guess what was in there? This had a 20 amp fuse. 20 amps!
Holy moly!
After digging through some documentation, I found out this takes a 2 amp fuse. And I didn't have a 2 amp, so I put a 3 amp in there. But 20 amps? Hopefully there was no damage done with that fuse in there. But coming up next, we shall apply power to this and see what happens. There's some exciting stuff coming up, folks, and you don't want to miss it.
Hell yeah!
Okay, I've already powered this up without the rectifier, and nothing bad happened. So now let's power it up with the rectifier. This is for all the marbles. Okay, I think we're ready here. Make sure that's on. Box is hot. Variac is hot. Well, watch this. If it spikes, we're going to turn that power off. I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling bad juju on this. 30 volts. Oh, look at that. We're getting some B plus there. Over here too. Let's go up some more. 35, 40, 45, 50 volts. 113, 114 over here, 96 here. One of these is the B+, one of them's going to the speaker. Right now I don't know which one it is. I think that one's for the speaker, which will be that one. $60. We'll just turn the volume all the way up because I'm hopeful here. Let's go up more. That's 80 volts.
What's it doing?
I don't know why I did that. I don't think I'm going to get anything on it. But we're about to hit 90 volts, which is usually when things start to happen. Let's go to 90. I'm only drawing a half an amp here, so maybe something's not working. I think I hear something out of the speaker. Speaker's buzzing. Nothing out of that.
Richard, give it up!
I'm sensing an aroma of rat pee here, so maybe that transformer is getting a little bit warm. It's a little warm, not much. I think you can hear that, right?
Do you hear it? It's a funny squeaky sound.
At least something's coming out of there. Volume control has no effect on that buzzing noise, so we got other issues with this. Of course, there's capacitors in these things here. Well, it's about 4 hours later. I've been going through these components here. There's capacitors in here and here and here, and I labeled them here, the numbers, according to the schematic, and I checked these. Even though they're off quite a bit, I do get capacitance in here. Of course, one of them could be bad, but I started checking other things. I was checking the wiring, checking some more coils over here, over here, over here. Then I came across one thing I think is a problem. Let me show you on the schematic. Now if we take a look at this diagram here, here's the IF tube here, and it's got this thing here, and it stretches all the way down over here to ground. They call that IF bias resistor. So let's take a look on the schematic. Go here, you can see the IF tube here, 24, and it's got the IF bias resistor here, and it's listed as a 1050 ohm flex, and we need 1050 ohms. I'm just going to find a resistor and put it on there. Okay, I'll show you what I got here. We'll just hook up these wires here. They're hooked up to the length of that flex resistor. Let me show you what I get here. See, it's in the 2 meg range. Now it's going over 3 meg. So I'm going to unsolder that wire and see if it's any good. It may be picking up a reading from some other stuff here. Okay, let's remove that so-called flex resistor. Aha, let's check it now. .24 meg.
Holy cow!
Notice when I flex it, it changes. So there's some type of a break or something in there. Okay, I got 1100 ohm resistor I'm going to use. Hopefully that'll work. We'll just tack it in here for the time being. Okay, this thing goes to ground, and we can ground it here on this capacitor. Let's power it up again. Okay, let's do it again. It's on. We'll just go up slowly, but all the way, because we know it's working. We just couldn't get anything out of it. So I'm not worried about anything shorting out. There's 90 volts on it. Still got buzzing, I see. Hey. I can control that. Hear that? Oh! I don't believe it. Who knows how long this has been since this has been on? It could have been from the 40s. 80 years. There's another station. Not coming in too good, but
Ineffective as a need.
Holy mackerel. That station's loud.
Effective nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs.
Oh, I did it. I didn't think I was going to get this thing working. I was dreading trying to close this video out without having it working. But now we can say I did it.
For fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep. But when you start looking, both end is I am explaining we're blessed this year, so you're going to get a really cool thing. A cool thing. In by you gift A or gift B or gift C.
Oh, what a relief. Let me get my broadcaster out and we'll play an old song and then we can close out the video. I'll flip this over. Wait a second. I want to make sure. Wait. Let's see what happens if I unplug this resistor here. Well, I'll be a son of a gun.
You know DraftKings customers can score 100 for just betting $5 on basketball. Win or lose, you get an instant dub.
That proves it. I found that by the grace of God. Okay, let's play a song from the 30s. This doesn't work very well.
Until I have learned, my heart has been burned. They say I shouldn't dream of your face.
I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll see you next year. Coming up next, Buzz Cinema with Dickel Aflocket. Good night, everybody. And boy, am I happy. Hello, folks. Welcome to Buzz Cinema. I am your humble host, Dickel Aflocket. Tonight's 8mm video is titled A Poor Man's Christmas. Buzz uploaded this film 9 years ago, but recently enhanced the video and added sound effects. In this film, Buzz again appears as his hobo character and reminisces about his Christmas the year before. Buzz's own son Casey narrated this film in 2014, 44 years after his dad made this in 1970. So let's roll the film. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. I thank you.
Well, here I am, another Christmas, and staying in another cold shack. 1 year older, and what have I got? I sure remember last year at this time. I had just hopped off a freight, new in town, spotted something I needed for a long time. And you know, still wearing those things today. I was broke and cold, needed a place to sleep. I looked around, found an old garage. Boy, was it cold and lonely in there. And you know, I thought, what a place to be spending Christmas Eve. Then I heard a noise. I'd seen this weird guy walking out of his house. Right then, I decided I'm going to have my own Christmas, just like the other people. I looked up at my tree, and it was beautiful. And then I felt kind of guilty about taking that tree from that guy. So I decided to take him a little present of my own. Boy, was I happy. I sure hope that guy likes the new gift I gave him. I bet he was surprised.
My tree!
Havana. Yeah. For the first time in years, I had a real Christmas. With a tree and everything. And you know, that was the best Christmas I ever had.
A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears.
God bless us, everyone.